Welcome into Paul Catalina's Top 5, brought to you by Flag Anthem. Today, we're going to be grading the big hires. And by the way, hey, it's Cyber Monday today. Go to flagandanthem.com. Use our promo code 365sports for a discount at checkout. All right, there have been a lot of coaching hires over the last week or so. So we're going to grade them all right here over the next two top fives, the top 10 hires that have been made, and we'll just go through piece by piece. Number 5, Oklahoma State hires Eric Morris, A+. You're going to read a lot of pundits that give you a reason why this is a B+ hire or whatever. But knowing the Big 12 as we do and covering all the teams as we have, I cannot imagine a better fit for Oklahoma State and what they need right now. This is a guy who can find talent where other people aren't looking, particularly at the quarterback position, and develop it. And that is what they're going to need. Plus, right now, he very likely comes with one of those guys in Drew Mestemaker, if that's how it works out, which at this point, I see no reason to think why Drew Mestemaker is not the starting quarterback at Oklahoma State next year. This is an A+. This is a perfect fit. They swam in the pool that they could swim in. They didn't have to worry about the rest of the mess in college football. They went out and got Eric Morris. This is a perfect hire for them. Number 4, Jon Sumrall at Florida, B+. The only reason I'm giving him a B+ and the hire a B+ is that Florida did not set their sights on another coach from a group of 6 league. It was always supposed to be a big name. They thought they could go get Lane Kiffin. They did not. They didn't really swim in any other ponds unless they did reach out to guys like Eli Drinkwitz, got a contract extension. Clark Lee got a contract extension. Brent Key, no word on that exactly yet, but that would have been another guy that you would have thought may have gone there. But they were also fighting against a lot of these guys in their alma mater, so they had to go back to the group of 6. Now, while Billy Napier and Jon Sumrall had very similar records at Louisiana and at Tulane, and Troy before that, for Jon Sumrall, I think this was a little bit different. He's wired differently. This is an SEC coach through and through. I'm not sure Billy Napier really is an SEC head coach. I think that he'd be a very good SEC position coach. I think that Jon Sumrall is a head coach in whatever league you want to put him in, particularly the SEC, because it runs through his blood, a former Kentucky linebacker in his own right. He's intense. He's going to have them playing really hard defense, and I think he can retain a lot of the talent on that roster should they get the front office situation straightened out there in Gainesville. Number 3, Ryan Silverfield at Arkansas, a coach I really like. He doesn't have to move very far. He knows the area and to recruit those guys, but they had a lot of lead time and then didn't really make a lot of waves. It wasn't like they did with basketball. And there is a realization with Arkansas is that they're going to have to find somebody and bring them up. I do think that this is better to get a coach on his way up, like Ryan Silverfield, than it is to grab a guy who's maybe kind of stuck in the middle like they have in the past, or that was just kind of a random alum. Ryan Silverfield knows how to coach offense. He knows how to develop offensive linemen, and we'll see what kind of backing he's going to have in Little Rock from the rest of the big money people. Memphis has a bunch of money shoved into the middle of the table to improve their program, so Arkansas probably had to come with a pretty sweet deal, even though they are a better job all the way around than Memphis because they're in the SEC, but Memphis does have a lot of NIL backing coming its way over the next couple of years. Number 2, Alex Golesh at Auburn. I think this is an A-. I'm stopped short of giving an A or an A+ just because I'd like to see how he adjusts to being back in the SEC. He was there at Tennessee as the offensive coordinator. He coaches quarterbacks really, really well. I think that this gives them an opportunity to maybe convince Deuce Knight to stay, which I don't know which would have happened with a different kind of coach, but the offense that he runs is prolific. Deuce Knight will be the starter there next year. He started, the SEC special game against an FCS team a couple weeks ago and looked really good. So I think this is a really good hire for that. I mean, maybe there are other, better fits for Auburn than Alex Golesh, but I do think that he will do well. I think he's a very good coach, and we'll see how he adjusts. It's a big jump from USF to Auburn. USF is thrilled to have you. Auburn will start hating you if you lose the first game by a point. It's just kind of how it goes. So I think he's ready for that. He knows the SEC, but I still think an A- higher. This one, a lower grade than most people are giving it, and I will give you the reasons why. Lane Kiffin to LSU it's a no-brainer for LSU to go out and get the biggest name available and the guy who's the hottest coach around right now. However, a lot of this around Lane Kiffin doesn't make any sense to me. If it's not about the money, which part of me thinks it's probably a little bit about the money, like LSU promised him to kind of whatever Ole Miss offered, they would escalate it. He's just not going to say that because it's going to make him look bad. Like, oh, it's not about the money. It's about where I can win a title. Well, you're 11-1 right now, bro. Like, you could very well with this Ole Miss team win the title this year. Like, there's nothing about this Ole Miss team that tells me that they can't go beat anybody in the 12-team playoff. Like, Ohio State might be the most complete team, but I don't know if Ohio State's really played anybody this year to challenge them to the level outside of Texas, who did in the first game. Like, that's the best team they've played, and that was 3 months ago. Like, so you could win it this year, and then you could build something that's totally yours at Ole Miss, or you could go into LSU, whose situation is kind of a mess right now with the governor saying, like, hey, we're not going to play these ridiculous things anymore, only to pay a coach more than they were paying before. Now, I don't know the buyout structure, but I also know this. They're also paying him his playoff bonuses on his contract with Ole Miss this year. So if Ole Miss wins in the playoff without him, he's going to get paid by LSU for helping another team win. It's bananas, man. And let's just point this out. I'm not saying he's not going to do it at LSU. I, in fact, think he probably will. But Lane Kiffin has not won an SEC conference title. He's not won a playoff game. He's not gotten to the 12-team playoff until this year. And then he left that team. So he's got some bridges to build. Also, it gives me a headache on the verge of aneurysm to think about the amount of smart assness that is going to live in Baton Rouge between him and Kim Mulkey. Insufferable levels of troll there. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. And I will leave it at that because we've talked about this at length already today. It's time to spin the wheel and have some fun with the carnival.
Do you know about the 3 T's of Thanksgiving? Turkey for eating, table for gathering, and touchdowns for winning. With DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in before dessert. With DraftKings Sportsbook, all the action's in your hands. First touchdown, anytime TD, live bets. Every play, every snap, every game counts. Big plays, bold calls, and bragging rights. When the games get good, the bets get better. Here's the best part. New customers bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. When touchdowns happen, we feast. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 365. That's code 365. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.